In 300 BC, in the city of Cyprus, there lived a wealthy trader named Zeno. While sailing from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his boat sank, taking all his cargo with it. This event, beyond anyone's control, turned Zeno from a wealthy man to a poor one in an instant. How would you, in Zeno's place, react to losing everything to nature's whims? Would you feel cheated, angry, or sad? These are natural reactions, but not for Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches acceptance and indifference to external events. Zeno, inspired by philosophers like Socrates, developed Stoicism to emphasize that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we react. Instead of despairing, Zeno maintained his composure, showing that a small change in mindset can lead to significant changes. Today, Stoics are often seen as unbreakable individuals who don't succumb to extreme emotions like rage or anxiety. However, Stoicism was originally much more than a description of emotional resilience. It was a comprehensive worldview and way of life that has endured for centuries. Stoic philosophy remains relevant today, offering valuable insights just as it did thousands of years ago. Stoicism teaches us to process negative emotions from adverse experiences and transform them into thoughts that provide a unique perspective on the world. Perspective is key, as everyone has different experiences and therefore different outlooks. Stoics believed in sharing their philosophy openly, holding discussions and teachings in public spaces. They believed these principles could benefit anyone, from slaves to emperors. This openness allowed Stoicism to spread widely, with notable practitioners including Epictetus, who was once enslaved, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most. The early Stoics practiced what they preached, rejecting all forms of segregation and actively fighting against inequality. They even coined the term cosmopolitan, which translates to citizen of the world. When we hear this term today, we often think of diverse cities like New York, Toronto, Dubai, and London, embodying the unity and inclusivity that the Stoics advocated for. In the early days of Stoicism, women were not permitted to pursue philosophy, but the Stoics strongly disagreed with this notion. Ausonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, argued that both men and women have a natural inclination towards virtue and should be allowed to pursue philosophy. He questioned why men could seek out a life of virtue through philosophy while women were denied this opportunity. Despite societal norms, women were encouraged to learn about Stoicism and become Stoics themselves. So why do many people embrace Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of unexpected twists and turns, our emotions often hinder us. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the events themselves that make us sad, but our reaction to them. Rain, for example, is beneficial as it waters plants and provides for livestock. But when caught in a downpour without an umbrella, we feel discomfort. Stoicism encourages us to expect and accept life's challenges, understanding that our reactions are within our control. When caught without an umbrella in the rain, it's certainly not a pleasant experience. So why don't we break down in tears when it starts pouring? It's because, over time, we've learned to anticipate rain. We understand that it's an inevitable part of life, beyond our control. While it might be inconvenient, we know the rain will eventually stop, and the sun will shine again. Stoicism encourages us to apply this mindset to life's challenges, expecting the worst while finding contentment in our ability to endure. One Stoic exercise, voluntary discomfort, promotes gratitude by intentionally subjecting oneself to discomfort, like sleeping on the kitchen floor or taking cold showers. These experiences demonstrate that we can endure hardships and even thrive with the right mindset, preparing us mentally for future adversities. In today's world, where we're bombarded with advertisements telling us that we need the latest trends or wealth to be happy, this message of Stoicism is more relevant than ever. From childhood, we're taught various things by our families, schools, and our own observations. However, absorbing all this information can lead to unrealistic expectations, leaving us feeling dissatisfied. Stoicism teaches us to focus on self-improvement for its own sake, rather than seeking external validation. Placing our happiness in external things, whether it's material possessions or societal expectations, sets us up for disappointment. Stoicism reminds us that external circumstances are unpredictable and fleeting. True contentment comes from within, from living with less and creating space for what truly matters in our lives. Instead, we should base our happiness on our inherent value as human beings, rather than on material possessions or external circumstances. It's crucial to maintain a calm demeanor, regardless of the challenges life presents. While we can't control most of what happens to us, we have full control over how we choose to respond. This concept, known as the dichotomy of control, is central to Stoic philosophy. Epictetus succinctly captured this idea by stating that the main task in life is to distinguish between things we can't control, external factors, and those we can control, which are our own choices and actions. Stoics emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. They suggest that our value should be derived from the things we can control, rather than those we cannot. While setting goals is admirable, Stoicism teaches that becoming distraught when things don't go as planned is futile. For instance, creating YouTube videos, while not as demanding as being a Roman emperor, can still be challenging. From ideation to editing, much of the process is within your control until you upload the video. At that point, the YouTube algorithm takes over. Despite this, many people gauge the success of their channels or accounts based on metrics like views and subscribers, which are largely beyond their control. Stoics advocate judging the success of your endeavors based on the effort you invest, rather than the outcomes you hope for. They encourage trusting the process. Living with less involves freeing yourself from the societal expectations that constrain you. Consider a scenario where someone has diligently worked at their job for 6 months and believes they deserve a promotion. They approach their boss with their performance report, but the boss, for various reasons, doesn't grant the promotion. The individual goes home feeling inadequate, without considering other factors that may have influenced the decision. If they had focused on the quality of their work and continued to strive for excellence, rather than fixating on the promotion, they would likely have been happier. Stoics believe in reframing your mindset in this way. True Stoics do not measure their success by financial gain, but find comfort in living a fulfilling life, independent of material wealth. Stoicism is founded on 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom involves discerning between what is within our control and what is not, and choosing our responses to external events. As Viktor Frankl famously said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Courage, in Stoic terms, means persisting and resisting challenges. Temperance, or moderation, is about achieving more with less and expressing oneself concisely. While figures like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk may pursue immense wealth, Stoics believe true wealth lies in having what is essential and sufficient. Among these virtues, justice holds particular significance. It dictates that we should not harm others, as we are all interconnected and should strive to do good for one another, not just for ourselves. Nelson Mandela, a renowned African leader, exemplified these Stoic virtues. Despite being imprisoned for 27 years during his fight against apartheid, Mandela did not seek vengeance upon his release. Instead, he advocated for reconciliation and nation-building. Mandela's adoption of Stoic principles, influenced by the works of Marcus Aurelius, guided his actions towards forgiveness and unity, emphasizing the importance of moving forward and creating a better future. In modern medicine, Stoicism plays a central role in therapies like rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, and logotherapy. REBT helps patients identify and challenge negative thought patterns, replacing them with more rational and constructive beliefs. Logotherapy, inspired by Stoic philosophy, focuses on finding purpose and meaning in life, even in challenging circumstances. However, this process of changing our mindset is challenging and requires effort. We must rewire our thinking, letting go of old patterns and embracing new ones. By focusing on what we can control and redirecting our value system towards these aspects, we can break free from fixation on things beyond our control and achieve a more fulfilling life overall, a much happier and more fulfilling life. Stoicism helps us steer through past and present storms into calmer and more peaceful waters. And if our ship sinks and we all drown, we can take ease in the end. We can take solace in the fact that we lived a meaningful life, even if it didn't last as long as we had wished. It's important to remember that everything eventually comes to an end.